Hi, my name is Deborah Jack. I'm a multidisciplinary artist that works primarily in photo, video, and photography. I think most of my work is based in memory and history and nature. So it's sort of an intersection, if you will, between that. It's rooted in the history of colonialism. St. Martin is an island that I'm from, and that was colonized by the Dutch because of the salt producing pond. Salt as a material and as a conceptual space is really interesting to me. So my work sort of moves around and deals with that sort of like Atlantic, Caribbean space and the history around. Initially for me, there's an aesthetic. I want people to be engaged with the work because they think it's beautiful. But then as they do a closer read, they start to see that there's also information that's in the work. And I like that process, right? I want my work to be a conversation. For me, it's about building in these fragments of meaning so that all together there's a story. The evolution of my work, I started out initially as someone who wanted to be a painter. So it went from the painting to working with the photography and video, and then folding in the hurricane imagery and narrative into the work. Because I wanted to think about like what's a story, what's an allegory that I could create that was specific to the Caribbean region, thinking about hurricanes, and that had so much layers and potential that was built into it. And for me, the hurricane has always sort of symbolized this idea of the people who perished during the Middle Passage. And so thinking about the million souls that died an unjust death, and thinking about how many cultures that believe that if somebody dies unjustly, their spirit doesn't rest. And so for me, the hurricane becomes this kind of leviathan, this kind of seasonal memory and memorial that nature has constructed for that trauma. You know, what I really love about JCAST is that it's, a way for me to show work to the community, right? The community here that might not necessarily go to galleries in New York or to museums all the time, for them to have that work available to them right here in Jersey City. Jersey City is really close to New York and to other really art centers, but like Newark. But it's really important for me to sort of show here. And now as somebody who's matured more and has had other exhibition opportunities, it's just a good way for me to stay rooted and to meet people and have conversations around the work.
My name is Frank Ippolito. I'm in Studio 201 here on the second floor at Art 150. I'm an artist, mixed media, photography, painting, drawing, music. I've been focusing a lot on my painting and my photography while I've been here at Art 150. The series that I've been focused on is called Translucid. My concept was that I wanted to create windows looking into the gallery where people were up against the window but really couldn't get in. And I decided to explore photography head on. And I did not want the individuals to be the subject. I wanted their presence. So I started experimenting with photographing through material to create sort of ethereal look. In my mind, the frame and the actual object was an important part of the piece. The voyeurism thing is I've been tuned into a little bit. The fact that they do seem like people, and we're sort of looking at what's going on the other side of the glass. By doing things like putting Venetian blinds in front of the piece, that meant that there was an active voyeurism because the person would have to shift their weight at least or move around to kind of see what was under there, and then they became an active participant rather than a passive one. And I thought that was an interesting place to experiment with. Kinds of responses I'm getting are pretty consistent and really exciting for an artist to hear. The other thing that they say, though, is that they're a little spooky. And it was funny because I hadn't really thought of that as like an important element, but I guess this idea of people that are there, they really are, because they're life-size and they're backlit, it kind of looks like they're there, but they're frozen. Energies that we all carry around that we maybe keep outside, the burlesque energy, the goddess, things like this that are, I feel, really part of all of us, but we all keep them on the edges if we even acknowledge them at all.
name is Maude Lemaire, and I'm located at Studio 150 Bay Street, Jersey City. Pretty new here since April. I feel like it's the dream come true. Like, I really love the studio spaces here. I'm actually a local Newark artist, but I also did some work in Jersey City with the Jersey City Housing Authority and some of the local restaurants. So I love the new experience here. Glass mosaic muralist, and I do one-of-a-kind pieces also. I'm working with PSC&G, covering up some of the substations in Newark. And this is one of my projects I'm putting on the walls. I'm actually installing at this moment. And like you can see, it's got little eyes here, and this eye over here, I have it in the studio just behind you on this table. So you can see the size of this swish that I'm putting up the wall. So this is all made of glass mosaic, obviously. Before I started this kind of art, I was doing more fashion, so I was into hats and sewing a lot. My grandmother taught me how to sew, and I really like that. But my best friend opened up her own bar in Newark, and they asked me to build something new, and she gave me the bar as a canvas, and I came up with a mosaic, and we put flames, and we had fun with like broken tiles, and we incorporated some glass, and it became like a piece of art itself. The old bar became a piece of art. The restaurant's starting to liking the look, because there's a lot of Portuguese and Spaniard in the neighborhood, so they like the tile work, and they were very interested coming and talk about their place and how we can incorporate some glass and for like the bars and like the benches. And I did a lot of artwork in the restaurants too in Newark. It just ended up to have a lot of women mosaics in my studio, but I guess they inspire me because one's in fashion, was an artist, one was a singer. And I'm open-minded to all kind of artists, and sometimes I just try different styles. So I try different artists, different iconic faces. So it's fun for me. This weekend it's my first time I'm doing JCAST. So I'm very excited. I wasn't sure, how it's going to turn out. I see it's a nice crowd. Just walking around the studios around, it's pretty amazing.
My name is Priyanka. I am 6 years old. And we are here in Greenville in the project area, and I live right next door, and I like it here, and it's really fun.
Hey everybody, I'm here with all my friends from Greenville. When I say green, say Ville. Greenville! 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 Yes. I'm here with all my friends from Greenville, sizes 0 to 150. We're having a lot of fun. What is Greenville Arts Crossroads? Greenville Arts Crossroads is a lot of things. It's a lot of locations here in our little corner of the world, on the south side of Jersey City. Our initiative wants to, encourage children to take part in the arts, but art encompasses a lot of things. Visuals, right? Music, sound, and also reading, right? The literary arts. So together with our friends from Triangle Park, Deliverance Children's Ministry, Monica Shaw, Elizabeth Deegan from Project Greenville, Petals and Lights, Catalano, Angela Huggins and her dolls, all of us here, including NJCU and the Bethune Center. All of us are one family, all of us together, downtown, Greenville, the Heights. But this is our little community, right guys? And we wanted to bring more art to these guys, and then our adult artists that are being featured here on this projection, on this installation. And we're just really excited and we wanted to share it with you, and we're just so happy that you care about us, because we care about our community too. Right, guys? Yeah! Yeah!